everyone, and welcome to Talking Over Tea. So we have a bunch of library books out at the library that we've had for a long time. So we wanted to challenge ourselves to try and read as many of them as we possibly could before they go back to the library. So I hope you enjoy seeing how many books we can read in 1 week.
Going on a walk and reading as we walk.
We are trying to waste no time so that we can finish these.
Yeah, this is our second full day. Or by the evening, it'll be our second full day.
We just made some rolls and we are waiting for them to rise. And we are just out here in the backyard reading.
Almost done. Pretty close.
It's almost finished. And I'm barely started.
So I just finished Tainted by Morgan L. Bussey, which is the first book I read for this challenge that we're doing. And I thought it was okay. I think I'll give it like 3 stars, maybe 2.5. This follows Kat Bloodmain, who is the daughter of this scientist, and she goes to this school as like one of the first women to study science and all that stuff. And she has this secret that causes her to be put into a lot of danger, and she wants to find a doctor to figure out how to cure how to cure the disease that she has. So I haven't picked what I'm gonna start next, but I'll be starting that one at some point today, and I'm looking forward to starting another book.
I'm finally doing my first update, and I finished Because of Winn-Dixie 2 days ago, I think. It's super duper short, and we had just watched the movie of this, so that's the reason why I wanted to read it. And it was really similar to the movie, and I really liked both. I feel like I would have liked the book even more if I hadn't just watched the movie and knew exactly what was going to happen. It was sad, but also still full of hope and not just a sad dog story. It is about a girl who just moved to a new town, and she is very lonely and doesn't have any friends, and she meets this dog that she names Winn-Dixie, and he kind of helps her to learn about people. And throughout these interactions, she kind of ends up learning that people's first reactions and their first impressions and stuff aren't everything that a person is. So I really enjoyed this. It was a great message and also just a really enjoyable story. And then I am reading Rosemarked by Livia Blackburn. I'm almost finished. This is about Ziva, who is a girl who lives in a little village that is under this empire. She is the youngest healer in the village. The tribute that the village has to give to the empire is just getting heavier and heavier. And so this tribe that is a warrior tribe that is like living kind of on the edge of their village, they kind of band together and decide to send her and someone else to the empire to try to get information from the empire so that they can know what's going to happen. And at first I was a little bit wary of it, and I was already annoyed by her being the youngest healer in like the world. But I just kept reading, and it actually got pretty interesting. And they I forgot one of the main parts is that there is a plague that is the rose plague. Some people die from it, and some people get umber marked, where you get like all these markings on your skin and they turn brown, and that means that you aren't contagious anymore and you can go out and live in society. But if they just stay red and you're like not sick anymore, you go off into isolation. So she ends up being rose marked, and so she has to live in this like other village for all the sick people. So she is rose marked and he is umber touched, so they can stay in contact with each other because he is going undercover in the empire as a soldier, and she is in the rose marked compound as a healer to try to convince the people that really is a good soldier. They take away his memory. She can bring it back with this amazing herb or something. He can't remember his past when he is a soldier, so he is very dedicated to the Empire and is trying to be a really good fighter. And so whenever she brings back his memory, he is just like, he just hates everything that he's done as the soldier. So it's been a really interesting idea, and I've really actually enjoyed it, and I was worried that I wasn't going to. And also, I used to work at a craft store, and there was these boxes, like these cardboard boxes with patterns on them that had there was a rose design, and we had a lot of them. And so that's all I can see, as the skin is all these roses all over their skin. Other than that, it's been pretty good. I've been excited to read it. It's in 2 points of view. It's in Ziva's and Dinius's point of view, which is the soldier guy. And yeah, today we have a writing group thing that we're going to that I've never been to before tonight. And so we just made some banana bread for that. And other than that, we've had a really pretty lazy day. So yeah, I'll update later.
So we never did a garden update on last year's garden, but we were just going to show what we've done this year. So we have a couple tomato plants. This one's Roma, that one's Sun Sugar, which we did last year. Our chives are still here. This is the flower garden. We actually had one surviving strawberry plant from last year, which is amazing because they all died. And then we bought one, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. Also, we have zucchini, and then these are onions that came back from last year. We're gonna see what those do. There's our raspberry plants, and there's some of the buds. It's the garden update. Did you want to say anything?
No.
Okay.
He's very half-heartedly running. So I wanted to make a really fast update. We are about to go to Costco, so I gotta do this really quickly. But I finished Rose Marked yesterday morning, and I found out that it is a series, and I thought that it was a standalone. So, I love series, but sometimes I just don't want it to just keep on going and going. But I think I will continue with the series. I did really like the first book. I thought it was a really interesting idea, but I feel like the next book is going to be really different, and they're getting into a war and stuff, so I'm not sure. And then I started The Beautiful Ones by Emily Hayes. This is the sequel. This was actually in our last vlog. I got it at the library, and I'm finally now reading it. About a quarter of the way through, and there's a bunch of characters, and every chapter is in different characters' point of view. So I'm still kind of trying to remember all the characters and who they are, and I am getting a little bit confused by the names, but there is a character key which helps so that I can remember if I forget people's names, because some people call them by their last names and some people call them by their first names, and it's I cannot remember all of this. But I'm really liking it so far. I will come back and tell you more about it later.
I don't think I updated, but I ended up starting the Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy, and I mainly wanted to read this because of the cover, because I really liked it, but I think I did hear a few good things about it. I'm not really sure. So I got this from the library quite a while ago, and probably wouldn't have read it because it's super long, but I decided to go ahead. And I'm about 70% through right now, and I'm listening to it on audio on like really fast speed just to get through. It's okay. I'll kind of think I'll give it a 2-star rating. It's just a super generic YA fantasy book with so many stereotypical things. We're actually shopping for my graduation party tonight, and I think that's all for this update. Did you want to say anything?
No, I didn't update yesterday.
Okay. It's the happiest day of Maddie's life. She got one of the little carts. Done shopping. Now we're going to another party store.
We got our banner and our complimentary mint. So this is my last update for this vlog. It is the last day of the challenge, and I have finished The Beautiful Ones by Emily Hayes. I really enjoyed this book. It is a sequel, so I won't really talk about what it's about so that I don't spoil it. It is very similar to the first one. It just follows a bunch of characters' lives in Glory Mesa, which is like a territory in the Wild West. There are these kind of like dragon creatures and kind of some like hints about like this magic stuff, but it's very much feels like it's in our world in the Wild West. And it follows a bunch of characters as like all their stories, like they all know each other, but they're all doing different things. It is based on the King Arthur story, but set in the Wild West. Sound like something you wouldn't want a book to be, but it is like written slowly. Like a lot of things happen, and there's like a lot of gunfights and a lot of near-death experiences, but it's like written very slowly, which that doesn't really make sense. I don't know, it just feels like slow, but like in a good way. Like you're just like taking in all the information, and it's not like everything's just speeding by. And I don't know, I just really like the way that it is written, and I feel like I haven't read very many books written like this, and I haven't really read any like westerns very much, so this is a series that I've really been enjoying. And there is one more book that I'm really excited to read that one. I can't really tell you exactly what it's about, but I just really enjoy it. So I would, if it sounds interesting at all, I would definitely pick up the first one. And we will probably do a wrap up tomorrow, so I will see you then.
So we just got back from a wedding, and it's technically kind of the last few hours of this challenge, so I thought I'd go ahead and make an update. I finished Bone Crier's Moon yesterday. I didn't really say what this is about, but I was just really drawn to the cover. I really like that art style, but the synopsis didn't sound like something I would be interested in, so I was a little leery going in. So basically, it might be easier if I just read this. They alone can keep the dead from preying on the living, but their power to ferry the spirits of the dead into Goddess Alara's night heavens or Tyrus's underworld comes from sacrifice. The gods demand a promise of dedication at the cost of the Bone Crier's one true love. So it definitely doesn't sound like anything I would ever read or be interested in, and I was correct. It's just not up my alley. So that one's getting 2 stars, I think. Okay, and then next, after that, I read Because of Winn-Dixie by Kate DiCamillo. And this was really short, so I started it last night, finished it this morning, and I enjoyed it. It's very similar to the movie, which we watched, or rewatched pretty recently, and that kind of got us interested in reading the book. So that's why Maddie and I both read it during this challenge. I really liked it and would definitely recommend this to younger readers So after that, I have picked up A Place to Hang the Moon by Kate Albus, and I am only like a couple chapters into this one, so yeah, definitely won't be finishing it for this challenge, but we'll hopefully get a little farther in. This follows 3 siblings, Edmund, William, and Anna, and they are orphans who are quite rich and are going to go live on farmland to be hopefully adopted. Right off the bat, I can tell this is an American trying to write a British story, which is a little annoying, but I'm not going to focus on that too much, and I've heard so many good things about this book, which of course makes me not think I'm going to like it, because that's just how it goes, unfortunately. So that's all for this update, and it's probably my last update for this video. It's been really good to just force myself to read books that I wouldn't really pick up, just because I always feel horrible returning library books that I never read. So I will definitely be getting a little more diligent with my library book reading, but also stay tuned for us reading some books we do own, which is hopefully happening soon.
So that was all of the books we read this week, and we hope you enjoyed coming along with us as we read them and hearing our thoughts about the different stories we read. It was really good for me to just force myself to read these books, even if I didn't feel like it. I know I had some duds, but it was still really good to know that I read them and gave them a try.
I actually liked the books that I read. Well, I knew that I pretty much knew I was gonna like 2 of them, but then the Rosemarked, I was actually pleasantly surprised by it, even though it is a series. But yeah, I really enjoyed the books I read this week.
So with that, we want to thank you for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.